Welcome to this new video, guys. So in this video, I will show you how to enable multiple concurrent logins in Azure VM. So I received a request that how can we enable multiple concurrent logins in Azure VM. So I thought let's create a video on this topic, as many of us are facing this issue. We do not know how to enable multiple concurrent logins. And in fact, at some point of time in the beginning of my career, I faced this issue as well. So that's why I decided to make a video on this. So let's proceed. And before I start my video on this topic, let me introduce myself. I am Rakesh Mishra. I am a certified Azure architect. I have multiple Azure certifications under my name, which includes AZ900, AZ500, AZ303, and not only Azure certifications, but some other certifications like CCNA, VMware, ITIL, Prince2. So I have done all these certifications, and I have more than 11 years of experience in IT field, and currently working as a senior consultant and Azure architect. So this is my hobby, to create videos which I recently developed so I can help others. So please like, subscribe, and share these videos so others can also get benefit out of it. They have many questions, they do not know where to ask, how to ask. So they can see these videos and they can learn. So let's start this video now. Okay, so by default, Azure allows only two sessions in Azure VM. So if you try to log in to the third one, it will log you out from either of first two. So you cannot have three sessions at a time. So how can we enable it? Let's see it there. Okay, so for this, we need go to run. You can hit Windows and R simultaneously, and this run box will come up. And in this run box, we need to type gpedit.msc. So what it does is it opens your local policy editor. So we are making some changes in local policy. So this VM can allow us to have multiple sessions. And just mind it, this is not an Azure VM. For the sake of this video, I am doing it on my own laptop, but the process and steps remain same when you do it in any Azure VM. So let's see how to edit this local policy. And also, just make sure you follow me step by step. Do not make any change in any other policy by mistake or anyway. So it will have serious ramifications. Okay, so we have local group policy editor on the screen now, and you need to click on administrative templates, which you see on the screen now. And under administrative templates, you will go to Windows components over here. And again, under Windows components, you need to look for remote desktop services. So let's increase the area. Okay, it's better now. So remote desktop services. So if you go down, it's EMFM remote desktop services. Here it is. And you need to expand it further. And now go to remote desktop sessions host, which is this, the remote desktop session host. And if you expand it further, so you will see an option which says connections, where it is here. Okay, this is the first one. Here it is. Now look at the right window over here. I have expanded. On the right side, you need to look for restrict remote desktop. You will see it here. Okay, this is the last option here. So do a double click on this and open this option. Okay, so if you go through the description, you will see if you disable this policy setting, users are allowed to make unlimited simultaneous remote connections by using remote desktop services. If you do not configure this policy setting is not specified at the group policy level. So right now it is not configured. But when you open an Azure VM and go to this setting, you will see it will show you enabled. And next to enabled, there will be a value which says 2. Okay, right now you will not see it here because this is not an Azure VM. So if you go to Azure VM and when you see enabled and you see that value next to enabled, that value by default will be 2. So either if you can, if you have a set number in mind which you want to allow for multiple sessions, you can change that value. Maybe if you want 5 sessions at a time, so you can change it to 5, and only 5 sessions at a time will be allowed, not more than that. Else, what you can do is you can completely disable this policy. So if you disable this policy, it will disable, there will be no restriction of how many sessions are allowed. So if policy is disabled, so unlimited number of users can have access of this VM at a time. Maybe there could be 10, 50, 100. So there could be a number of sessions, but again, mind it, that will impact the performance of this VM. So if it is not a very a VM which has a very high number of configuration, so like memory, hard drive, and processor. So you will see the performance is downgrading. So this disabled option is not suggested. Either I would suggest you to enable it and choose a number, a value. So only those number of people will be allowed at a time. But if you want, you are free to go. You can just disable this policy. I mean, if you know that there are only, let's say, 5 users in the team who access this VM, not more than that. So if you want, you can disable it, and you are good to go. All those people in your team, they will be able to access this VM at a time. There won't be any issue. So just hit apply and OK. And once it is done, so the cap on the number of users which are allowed in your for multiple sessions at a time, that cap will be removed. So give it some time. It may take a few minutes to sync the policy. So just maybe give it a minute or two, give it some time and let it sync. So once it's done, so you will not face any issue in accessing this VM, even if there are more than 2 people, more than 2 sessions out there. So that's how you can enable it. So I hope it will resolve your issue and you will not face an issue. But in case, if even after doing it, you are facing an issue, please let me know in the comment section and I will try to answer you as soon as possible. I hope this video was good and you were able to understand the process. So just let me know your feedback if there's any feedback from you. So thank you.